Hello everybody, for today's beer review we're going to be taking a look at Avery Brewing Company's Hog Heaven Dry Hopped Barley Wine Styled Ale. So this should be a real treat. Basically, we are dealing with a barley wine here, and if you don't know, barley wines are kind of in their own league in that it's sort of hard to categorize a barley wine's flavors because they all can taste so very different. At least that's what I've found in my experience with them, is that no barley wine tastes the same as another, whereas things like stouts and IPAs they can all taste different, but they all have those kind of same taste you expect from them. Barley wines are kind of unpredictable wild cards, per se. So this is from Avery Brewing Company. This is actually not my first time drinking stuff from Avery, and I will tell you that Avery is really high up there. They're a very high quality, kind of legendary brewery. And this is their Hog Heaven, which is a, like I said, barley wine styled ale. And it says this is the holy trinity of ales. So let's see if we can read any information here. This is 104 IBUs, so that is incredibly high on the bitterness scale. That's kind of reaching the peak on what the human tongue can perceive in bitterness. And as far as the alcohol goes, it is 9.2%. That is a massive, monstrous beer. You'll definitely be feeling it if you drink the entire bottle. You're probably not going to want to drink much after that because you're going to be tipsy. As far as a commercial description goes, it says, brewed and bottled by Avery Brewing Company in Boulder, Colorado. And it says, or is it hop heaven? This dangerously drinkable Garnet beauty was designed to satisfy the most zealous of hop devotees. Intense bitterness and the dankest of dry hopped aromas are intertwined with a rich caramel candy-like malt backbone. Oink. Brewed with Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. So this should really be a treat. Now, I bought 2 bottles of this, and I put one back to age and cellar, but I wanted to go ahead and drink one now just so I could kind of compare and see how the flavor develops over time. Alright, cap is off. I'm drinking this out of my Duvel glass today. Straight out of the bottle, it pours a very rich kind of caramel, brown, orangish copper. Let's see if we can get some head on this. Enough there for another glass. Very nice. Wow, I can smell that from here. Formed about a finger of kind of medium yellowish tan, honey sort of colored head. It has hardly any bubbles streaming up, so the head will probably subside quickly. It's very murky, maybe unfiltered even, and the color is just a nice kind of amber, very dark honey orange sort of color, as you can see. Let's give it a smell. Wow, that is a very intense and strong aroma. It's got tons of hops up front. I would think this was like a double IPA or an imperial IPA if I smelled this blindfolded. There's pineapple, very fresh, moist, wet fruit, kind of. There's definitely some, it's hard to put my word on it, some very wet earthiness like spring water or rain. There's kind of some herbal grassiness to this. Grapefruit, oranges, apples, hops. I wouldn't say quite, well actually, a little bit of sweet kind of caramel in the back there too. Very, very complex and interesting and delicious smelling aroma. Let's hope the taste matches. Cheers. Wow. That's intense. And it's definitely got the bitterness. And the promised 104 IBUs. Let me start by saying that while it is definitely a hophead's dream, it is hoppy as hell, there is a malty backbone in the back. They were very correct in saying that on the description of it. But as far as the flavor development is concerned, Up front, you've got sweet, sweet hops, pineapple, regular apple, and then that fades into a quite bitter malty backbone. It is strong. You can definitely taste a little bit of the alcohol in it, and it's quite warming going down. I will warn you, it is very bitter, the aftertaste is. And this is like a true bitterness, like if you were to lick a grapefruit, like the peel of the grapefruit or an orange. I mean, it is full-on bitterness as it rides out to the end, and it lingers. This beer has a very long finish. A very long bitterness resides on the tongue for quite some time. I like this a lot, but I'm going to warn you, if you don't have a lot of experience with really, really intense bitter beers, stuff like, Arrogant Bastard and even higher up than that, go ahead and buy this one, set it back to cellar, but get a little bit of experience under your belt first, because you're not going to enjoy this or appreciate it until you have a very fine appreciation for bitter beers. I'm going to say this is actually the most bitter beer that I have had to date. Not to say that I'm turned off from it, but I think it would have helped out a little bit if they had just eased up on the bitterness just a hair. I've had beers that are advertised as having higher IBUs than this and are nowhere near as bitter, at least as far as I perceive them to be. This one, you taste every single one of those 104 IBUs. That's not to say it's a bad thing, though. Like I said, if you're into really bitter stuff, or if you're starting to become spoiled by bitter beers and you're looking for that next kick in the mouth, this will do it for you. You'd have to be pretty damn hardened not to find this a bit bitter, because it's like boom, it's like a punch in the mouth. But anyway, as far as the rating goes, it's going to be pretty high up there. There's a little bit of smokiness to it too. That's good. I would give this beer a 9.4 out of 10 is where I would rate that at. It could easily be a 10-star barley wine, but it's just a little bit too bitter, and that's not any inexperienced side of me saying that, or like, oh, that's kind of wussy, you just can't handle the bitter beer. No, I like bitter stuff, don't get me wrong, and I can handle bitter stuff, but this is just a little bit over the top bitter. Just a little bit. So it could be a 10, but I'm going to get like a 9.4 right now, because the bitterness does kind of shut down some of those flavors up front after you take a few sips, because it just lingers so long. But not to say it's not a fantastic A- to A. I say actually about an A barley wine. Anyway, that has been Avery Brewing Company's Hog Heaven Barley Wine. Highly suggest you give this one a try if you're into the bitter beers. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Stick around for the next one.